Good morning, and we are live. This is Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning. And we are here live 5 days a week talking about all things mindset. And this week we've been talking about mindset. But first, I would love if you would subscribe. And if you're enjoying this, I would love if you would share this with your friends, because the intent is really that we are becoming intentional about our minds, our days, our lives, our direction, our future. The truth is we can't do anything about the past, but we can start here and change the trajectory of our future. And it starts with becoming intentional. So the morning is such a sacred time of the day. It's setting that foundation. And that's what we're doing here is we pick a topic a day and we talk about it. And the intent is really to strengthen you and just to get you thinking about things and how you can apply them to your own life. And, what little nuggets you may have found that you really think that is going to just change the way that you show up. And that's what this is. So this week, we've been talking about mindset, and we talked about success mindset and a winning mindset and a failing mindset, how to like never fail again. That was really powerful. And yesterday we talked about disappointment. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is the power of choice. And if you're familiar with any of my books, I've written a couple of them, and my third book, Confidence is Queen, is about to come out. But one of the first things that I talk about in all of my books, because it is such a foundational principle, is this power of choice. And I do this within my coaching, my lessons, my lunch and learns, anything. This is such the key fundamental piece because it is so incredibly empowering. So defining your boundaries and reset, you can find on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and even Audible. One of them's on Audible, and Confidence is Queen will be coming out soon. But we talk about this power of choice, and I want you to think about how you feel right now. How do you feel? Like, what's your attitude right now? You may say, "Man, I just woke up. I'm not in a great mood. I want to be sleeping." Or you may say, "Hey, I'm in a great mood." But whatever mood you are in is actually a mood that you choose. Everything you choose. That is you. That is the power that you and only you distinctly own. And I'd like to think of life as one of these decision matrix, like one of these matrices where, it's if this, then this, if this, then this, this, where do I go? And we're constantly coming at decisions in our day. And it's not just the mood, it's everything. It's what we choose to eat. It's what we choose to listen to. It's who we choose to hang out with. It's where we choose to go for lunch. It's where we choose to spend our evening. It's what time we choose to wake up. It's literally everything about your day, your entire itinerary, and everything that you do, every thought that comes through your head, everything that you put up to your mouth, everything is your choice. And that's what you control, all of those things. And yet so often, and this is what really got me, for so many years, I didn't acknowledge that I had this power within me. And it was like things would happen and I would get angry and I would be frustrated, or I would have this resentment. And I didn't realize that I didn't actually have to be in that state of mind. I didn't have to get angry. So when I say, are you happening to life, or is life happening to you? When we break it down, it comes back to choice. Because none of us would say, if I said, how do you want to feel today? I guarantee it's not angry, frustrated, embarrassed, bored. These aren't good places to be. No, we want to be happy. We want to feel at peace. We want to have clarity. We want to have flow. Nobody wants to be in what I call these states of suffering. And a state of suffering really is anything that doesn't feel good. Now, there are a few things I usually take out of this category, like sadness, because sometimes things happen and we have to grieve. And there's a whole grief process. But at some point, we do have control over that. Are we going to stay there or are we going to transition out? So a lot of times I take that one out. But when you look at these other states like anger, ooh, that's like the worst. Honestly, I think anger is the root of all evil. You are not in a clear state of mind when you're angry. I mean, think about a time that you were angry. Did it feel good? Did you do something maybe you regretted? Did you make a decision that you thought afterwards, I could have done that better? And that's because when we are in a state of suffering, we don't have the clarity that we have when we're at peace. So I talk about states of suffering and beautiful states. And when we find ourselves in these states of suffering, that is when life is happening to us because we haven't engaged our power of choice. See how that unravels? So the first thing to do is to become aware of how you want to feel, become aware of how you are feeling. And when these things creep up in our life, say, hold on, do I want to be angry over this? Is this where I want to put my energy? We talked about energy here. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We spent a week talking about energy and the energy that you put out, the energy that you attract. And we know that the energy that you put out is the energy that you're going to attract. And that those who you hang around with are going to impact your energy. So if you want to be positive, it's got to start from the inside out. And then that's what you're going to attract. And if you find yourself hanging out, even if you say, yeah, I'm a really positive person, but all you hang out with are negative people, they are going to rub off on you. It's just like when they say you are what you eat, because what you put in your body matters. If you eat nothing but junk, then it's going to clog your arteries and it's going to cause health problems and it's going to make you break out and it might make you feel stressed out. It might make you anxious. Depends what you're putting in your body. So even if you eat healthy half of the time, if half of the time you're eating garbage, you're going to be impacted by that garbage. So it's the same with who you surround yourself by. And that is a choice that you make. So it's having that level of awareness and that connectivity with ourselves. And I like to talk about it as our power source. We have to be plugged into how do we feel? What is going on with us? And it's okay to ask yourself, like, pause throughout the day. And how does this make me feel? Because it's when we have that level of awareness that we are able to make those changes if we're somewhere that we don't want to be. Now, if you are in a beautiful state, yeah, it's probably good to do it then too, to say, hey, you know what? I feel really good when I do this. I feel good when I do that. And it's a good time to do it as things are going on throughout the day. And at the end of the day, reflect and say, hey, what went well? What could have gone better? But it's that power of choice. It is like the root of everything. How do you want to show up in this world is your choice. And if you show up and you are negative, that, whether you realized it or not, you didn't jump out of bed in the morning and said, I want to bring everybody down. But maybe you did. The truth is, sometimes we are so consumed by negativity that we don't even realize that it's happening. And that's okay. That's okay if that's you yesterday. But acknowledge it today and make a difference. Make that change. And you don't have to change overnight. In fact, I encourage you not to try to make some drastic lifestyles. I have a friend of mine who was like, I'm never eating carbs or cheese again. And I'm like, okay, here we go again. Like, how can you not eat carbs or cheese? Okay, I get it. Probably not part of the vegan diet, but this dude loves fast food. He loves fast food. And I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, if you want to try it, that's cool. But it's a big thing to say, like, never again am I going to do this. And I told myself that with alcohol. You know, I'm over 3 years in recovery now, which is like amazing. But how many times did I tell myself, never again will I drink? And then the next day I drank again, because it is so overwhelming to think about like completely changing your life overnight. So strive for progress over perfection. We don't need to be perfect. And yeah, I mean, maybe we want to strive to get to a certain point, but take baby steps to get there. There's no child that as they're crawling, like tomorrow, I'm going to be the fastest marathon runner. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to crawl, you have to walk, you have to run, you have to train, you have to be old enough for your legs to be long enough. Like there's a process. You don't just start out and say, okay, I'm crawling. Now I'm going to win a marathon at the fastest time tomorrow. That is not how life works. So don't put that expectation on yourself that everything is just going to change. Step one is having that awareness within your life. How do I feel? Does this make me feel good? Am I who I want to be? Am I where I want to be? And remember the 4 words, the most powerful question. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Ask yourself, does this serve me? Does this serve me? That is the most powerful question that you can ask yourself. And you will find so many answers in that. So yes, ask yourself, how do I feel? Is this how I want to feel? Ask yourself that. But if you say, does this serve me? This is your mind. These are the people, the places you frequent. These are ideologies, people, places, things, ideologies. I talk about those 4 things a lot because that is the makeup of your day. Maybe you spend a lot of your time going to the bar. Is that the best place for you to go? And I can't tell you that answer. And I'm not saying don't ever go. Even I go to the bar and I don't drink. Yeah, it's fun to hang out every once in a while, but I don't want to go every single day. That is not what's going to grow my mind and uplift me. And that's where I'm at in my own life. Now, you may go to the bar and you play chess with your friends and you talk and you do business and all the things. And that may just be the place where you hang out. I don't know. They may have really healthy options. You're not eating that garbage, stereotypical bar food. I don't know. I don't know what your bar looks like. Maybe you go to the juice bar. I don't know what it is. But that's the type of conversation that you should be having with yourself is, does this serve me in my life, in my mind? Does it help me for tomorrow? Is what I'm doing today laying the foundation for tomorrow? And if the answer is no, the truth is everything in your life doesn't have to be like, I'm paving the way for tomorrow. You're allowed to just go have fun, swing on the swings, go down a slide. And yes, I'm talking to you adults. Absolutely. Feel free to follow me on social media. Every once in a while, you'll see Jen at a playground and I videotape myself and I'm like, this is so much fun. Or I'm climbing a tree or I'm doing something. And that's just something fun. And if I stopped and said, is this bettering me for tomorrow? I mean, I don't know. It's keeping me young. I don't know. I could probably say that, but I feel good about it. It makes me happy. It makes me connect to that child that I was, that child that's full of life and energy and, was ready to take over the world. And she was going to be a rock star, which she's still going to be, you know, I like that. But like, is that the actual building blocks to get me to where I am tomorrow? I don't know. So it's not that everything in your life has to be like, well, I don't know if this isn't helping me for tomorrow. You can do things in the here and now, because the here and now only comes one time. That's it. You get one chance at today. Like that moment that we just talked about a minute ago, that's gone. It's gone. That's the reality. So you live one life. And I would hate to be, this is what scares me the most. I'm being honest. If I get to 80 years old and I look back and I say, man, I could have been more happy. I could have been more. I should have been more. I would have done. If I do this coulda, shoulda, woulda game when I'm 80, man, and then maybe it's too late to do some of these things that I coulda, shoulda, woulda, I'm not going to feel good about that. So this is your one life. You get one chance at this. And if you are reflecting and you say, you know what? I am not the person that I want to be. I am not where I want to be in life. My mind is constantly negative. I am constantly in a state of suffering. I'm anxious. I'm fearful about what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't take new opportunities because I don't trust who I am. I don't love myself. I'm resenting so many people around me. Why do they have success? Why do they have happiness? Why can they find healthy relationships and I can't? If you're embarrassed about things, if you think, man, I really gave that a good try, and you know what, I failed, and now I can't show my face again. If you find yourself going through any of those, then that's the choice that you make. But the beautiful thing is that that's the choice that you can change. You can change any of those. And that's what we talk about here on the show every day. You don't have to fail. That's a decision that you can change. Yeah, you may have forgotten all the words as you were giving the speech. That didn't change. But next time, just to practice. You practice more. Or maybe give a different speech, one that the content better. Or maybe use slides, or maybe have little notes with you. I don't know what that looks like for you, but just learn from it. Let's not ruminate on it. Let's not have that stick in our mind. But you control that. That's the beautiful thing. But you have to become connected. Plug into your power source and say, am I where I want to be? Do I feel good right here, right now? And then start to become aware as you're going through these things. That's all life is. Life is one big experiment. So just experiment. Don't be afraid to have those conversations with yourself. I honestly do. I didn't for many years, and now I do. And I get sucked in too. And I will put my energy into things that I should not be doing, or that I should not spend my time thinking about. And I got to pull myself out of it. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And I'm like, man, all right, Jen, you spent a lot of energy on that thing that you knew that you shouldn't have. And you learn and you grow. Aim for progress over perfection. So it is Friday, and I hope whatever you do this weekend is something involving self-care Saturday, self-care Sunday, or just self-care weekend, something for you. So how do you want to show up today? How do you want to be this weekend? What are those small goals in your life that you want to tackle? And don't forget to ask yourself, does this serve you? The amazing thing is that it's all you. You get to decide. All you. Life is nothing more than a decision matrix. that you own. So we will be back here next week. Please make sure you like this episode, make sure you subscribe. And if you are finding massive value out of this, please share it with your friends. We are here live, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, but it's YouTube, so you can watch whenever works for you. But I am here 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will see you back here next week. Cheers.